Yeah. So
you're going with your old ways, trying to, but it's not.
Well, the thing is, okay, see, I could justify it a million times, and I could actually convince myself into thinking, whatever I want to, But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a choice that I made, and I made it clear consciously. It wasn't something that was brought to my attention. I went and I looked for it, and again, it's just a justification.
Welcome to Don't You Know I'm Loco podcast, where we're breaking generational curses and normalizing mental health. We're 4 cousins who span 2 generations, and we're here to share our own experiences on our mental health and healing journeys. Join us as we talk about
the things we're not supposed to talk about.
See. So, our first episode premiered this week. We started off with a bang. Didn't go how we had originally planned, but
we're head on. Let's.
But it was the truth, so we let it roll. I mean, we could have took it back.
Gloves are off.
We were honest and we were wrong. Real. We left it. Yeah. We left it.
And that's the way we want everything to be.
That's what we said when we started this. Nothing is off the table. We're gonna be real about it. Because that's why we brought this about, is because we wanted people to be able to relate. So
that's very true.
But if I could also add, we are still going to, within our boundaries, we're going to, talk about everything that,
So with drinking, it's hard because it's everybody drinks, and then also you don't want to make people feel bad for drinking and you're not drinking. I drink and I don't drink, but my husband does, and we have liquor in the house, and I'm good. It's I don't need it. I've never, because before it would be fuck, I'm having a bad day, I just want a beer. And it's you're having a bad day. Drinking a beer isn't going to change why you had a bad day. You're still going to have a bad day at the end of it.
And it's going to be worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's
next
just
morning.
I don't think I spoke with an accent, but I'm pretty, I would have a problem understanding them or vice versa, right? Because we're kids. We don't know. What do you do as a kid if somebody's different? You're going to pick on them, right?
Yeah.
So now every school that we went to, I experienced so much discrimination because I was maybe not the only brown girl, but one of the 5 or whatever, Everybody else was white.
Yeah.
The farther you guys kept moving out.
Yeah.
And it was a struggle every time, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, we were able to go to your guys' house on the weekends, and we were able to still, have that kind of social life, right?
Just kind of where we're at with therapy right now. Does anybody want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm graduating from therapy next week. No, so I've been going to this therapist for about 6 months now. It's through the alcohol drug treatment program at the VA.
Okay.
And he's leaving, so I was like, no.
Oh, no. That's my greatest fear.
He's like, He's like, I'm out of here. I was like, am I going to get another therapist? I'm like, I don't want to cheat on you.
I always associated PTSD with just soldiers.
Military, yes.
And I never thought about no, yeah, you do have PTSD until recently when I saw, a behavioral therapist, and she was like, no, you have chronic PTSD. And I'm like, what? Me? What do you mean?
Didn't go to war.
And it was, I titled it Sex and Shame, and then I also put body intelligence in there because it's something I think in the Latino community, it's you're a kid, but you have to learn things on your own because it's almost taboo for our parents not to talk about these things to us now, right?
There's no bees and birds.
No,
birds and bees talk?
We didn't get that. It was birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees.
Yeah.
It was
which I never understood.
It was if you get pregnant, you better not come back. Or, if you get somebody pregnant.
Yeah. Mine was, if you get pregnant, we're kicking your sister and her baby out. And I'm like, what? What? I was like, yeah, right. You would never. That would never happen. I used to watch that. or like not wear my
Yeah.
hair in a ponytail,
Uh-huh.
or like not wear my hair, and I'm like, like no, we're good. Like no, girl, you're fine. I know. I swear I'm not presumida, okay? Just love myself.
No,
okay?
yeah. And that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know
I've
why we think
learned.
that's such a bad thing.
I've
Where it's
learned.
like,
Yeah.
oh, then you're stuck up, or you feel, you're too busy.
Mhm.
No.
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 Mm-mm. And that's like what, even
It's
with
not.
my clothes, like I've learned to dress for my body, and
Uh-huh.
I've learned to be like, I love to be extra in my
Uh-huh.
clothes because it makes me happy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like
Yeah.
whatever, we're
Yeah.
gonna wear
Like
what
if
we
you
wear.
came with something like really dull, I think we would be like,
What's going
Are you
on?
okay?
What's going on, Candy?
the fuck happened?
Something with no color. I know. No color, no accessories.
we're wearing
Like,
black.
okay.
Why are we all black?
So today we would like to welcome Dr. Christy
Cannell.
Cannell.
Everybody mangles it.
And I just said it too. Cannell like camel. To the podcast. She's
Just call me Christy.
Okay.
Makes it. That's why I tell people to call me Christy, because the last
Christy.
name's a hard thing. So
are you kidding me? Look, all of our last names are super hard to pronunciate, so we understand. She is a licensed psychotherapist. She is also a professor at Cal State Fullerton for 41 years now.
As long as I've been away.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I started very early.
Yeah.
As soon as I became a licensed therapist, I began teaching part-time. And then I went on to get my PhD. And then I became a full professor while I was continuing to be a therapist. So that was those are what we call the invisible symptoms or invisible syndromes. And the problem is that you can't see them. You can see somebody with an artificial leg. You can see if they're missing a limb, somebody in a wheelchair, but you don't see a lot of this. And so it's like invisible. And so it looks like you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not. And so I get students who come in with TBI and they can't concentrate. They have difficulty being in a room because maybe they have PTSD and something's triggering them. They have explosion outbursts. We now know with PTSD, we've changed the criteria. My profession has. We've taken away that it has to be anxiety or a fearful response, and we threw in any negative mood. We're seeing more and more depression as part of PTSD, and people don't realize that. Okay, and
the story about the mission that we did. So, and that was like the thing. Like we did so much in Afghanistan, right? And I want to like embrace that, right? So there was a mission that we did back in February in 2011. We made history. It was a Shura. So Shura, that's a gathering, and it's a very traditional way to solve problems with elders and key leaders. But the reason why this was so popular was because it was for an all-female leaders, key leaders, right? And on top of that, the people on point for that mission was an all-female military team. And that's rare to have, right? Like rare. We did have shout out to I asked one of the shout out to the Charlie Company, the 181 Infantry First Platoon for providing outer security for us. I love them, man. I love them. They were awesome. And so we went in and we did that, and we were security for them because no males are allowed to be in presence of the female Afghanistan people. So we did that. We led, and we got a NAM, which is